Hey, Ryu, don't you think samurai from the Sengoku period always seem to have impressive beards? Was that really the case?
Oh, Sora, you've got a sharp eye. From the Sengoku period to the Edo and even the Meiji era, Japan's beard culture underwent some remarkable changes.
Beard culture? What do you mean by that?
Well then, let me explain it all in detail today. Let's start with the Sengoku period. For samurai, a beard was a symbol of dignity and strength.
So, beards were like a statement. I'm strong, don't mess with me.
Exactly. Styles like the grand beard, or the majestic stache, were particularly admired. Even Toyotomi Hideyoshi was said to have worn a fake beard, because he was self-conscious about his thin facial hair.
A fake beard? Like a Sengoku-era version of fake eyelashes for men?
Pretty much. But beards weren't just for style, they had practical uses too.
Practical? Wasn't it just about looking cool?
Not at all. A beard could hide a person's expression, making it harder for opponents to read their true feelings, and it gave off an intimidating aura. For Sengoku warriors, beards were a strategic tool.
What about when the Sengoku period ended? Did beard culture change during the peaceful Edo period?
It changed a lot. When Tokugawa Ieyasu established the Edo shogunate in 1603, the chaotic war-torn era came to an end, and beard culture started to mellow out.
Mellow out? How?
Among daimyo and high-ranking samurai, shaving became the norm. Beards, which symbolized the wildness of the Sengoku era, no longer suited the refined image of a peaceful time.
Does that mean beard culture disappeared completely?
Not at all. Among commoners and lower-ranking samurai, beards actually became trendy. Styles like the sickle beard, or the yako beard, which ran from the nose down to the cheeks, were particularly popular.
So the common folk enjoyed playing around with beards. But what about people who couldn't grow one?
They got creative. Some used paper-made clip-on beards, and others drew their beards on with ink. Basically, they were the original fake beards.
It's interesting how people found ways to enjoy beard fashion during peaceful times. But wasn't there any backlash?
Oh, there was. The shogunate didn't like it. They believed bold, extravagant beards brought back memories of the chaotic Sengoku era. So in 1670, they issued a beard ban.
A beard ban. The government must have really disliked beards.
Exactly. The ban prohibited both commoners and samurai from growing flamboyant beards. Later, in the late 1670s, they even introduced fines to reinforce the ban.
Fines? That's strict. Did people actually follow the rules?
At first, the beard trend persisted. But as fines became more common, the trend faded. By the mid-Edo period, beards had almost completely disappeared.
So, no one could grow a beard?
There were a few exceptions. Elderly men, doctors, and monks like Yamabushi were allowed to keep their beards. In some cases, professions or roles granted exceptions.
Regulating beards for the sake of peace. It's impressive how thorough the shogunate was.
It really was. By the end of the Edo period, beards had almost completely vanished. And the beard culture itself had nearly disappeared.
But don't you think suppressing something that much might lead to problems later?
Exactly. The pent-up frustration exploded, but we'll get to that in a bit.
By the way, how did people shave back then?
They didn't have modern razors like we do today. People either used razors at home or visited a barber for a professional shave.
So barbers used razors for shaving?
That's right. And those razors were crafted with Japanese sword-making techniques, making them incredibly sharp. Barbers were skilled craftsmen who carefully shaved their customers.
So going to the barber turned you into a smooth-faced gentleman. So after the Edo period ended, there was an explosion of beard culture?
Exactly. During the Meiji era, there was a massive beard liberation boom. After centuries of suppression, men were thrilled to grow beards again.
What was that like?
It was like a full-blown beard renaissance. Figures like Itagaki Taisuke with his lush beard, and Nagaoka Gaishi with his propeller mustache, became icons.
Now that you mention it, Meiji-era leaders always seem to have these impressive beards.
Western influence played a big role too. In the West, beards symbolized dignity and masculinity, and Japan adopted that image.
So beards weren't just fashion, they were symbols of a new era.
Exactly. Growing a beard was like saying, we're no longer Edo-era commoners. We're modern, forward-thinking men.
Come to think of it, a lot of these bearded icons are on Japanese money too.
That's right. Figures like Ito Hirobumi, Itagaki Taisuke, and even historical legends like Sugawara no Michizane and Prince Shoutoku are often depicted with beards.
But why are so many bearded figures on money?
Beards actually helped prevent counterfeiting. The fine details made it harder to forge bills.
Beards as a security measure? That's amazing. The evolution of beard culture from the Sengoku era to the Edo and Meiji periods is fascinating.
Beards weren't just hair, they reflected the values, power dynamics, and cultural shifts of their time. They're a key to understanding Japanese history.
Next time I see someone with a beard, I'll remember all this history.
Just don't forget, Sora, if you ever grow a beard, take good care of it.
Do you want me to throw a shuriken at you? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Catch you next time.